We're going to have a full-packed half an hour. Actually, while we're waiting, if you guys wouldn't mind, let me know in the chat box that you can see the PowerPoint and you can hear my voice clearly. Thank you. I'm getting yes, all good, good on my end. All right, great. All right, let's jump in, and if people jump on as we go, then you guys will all be getting a recording of the webinar anyway. So let's dive in, because I'm sure most of you have things to do after 2:30. Well, depending on your time zone. So this webinar is 7 ways to reach millennial home buyers from a millennial perspective. So, in case you guys didn't know, I am a millennial. I'll be hosting this. My name is Joe Pohl. I'm the digital marketing specialist at RAC, and I am, in fact, a millennial. So, I will be hosting a Q&A at the end of this, so you can ask me millennial-related questions if you have any follow-ups as we go on. So first, a little housekeeping. Who is RAC? We're a sale correspondent lender licensed in 16 states. We consider ourselves as a group of lending specialists dedicated to helping, mortgage professionals close difficult loans on time. We have really talented underwriters that are extremely good at restructuring difficult loans and making them close on time. We work one-on-one with you. That's another one of the benefits. You have direct access to our underwriters, collaboration with our account executives, so we can get your loans closed. Key benefits to working with us include 24-hour underwriting, 72 hours per condition. We accept rent-free letters in lieu of VORs. FHA, we go down to 500 with no overlays. VA, we go down to 500 with no overlays. And USDA, we go down to 580 with no overlays. And as I previously mentioned, you do have direct access to our underwriters and closers here at RAC. If any of you are unsure about a loan you have in-house right now, you can send it over to prequals@racmtg.com, the link right there, and one of our underwriters will review it and let you know if the loan is doable at RAC. Or you can visit our website, check out our loan programs at www.racmtg.com. Okay, the millennial home buyer. Now, I'm sure all of you know, and all of you have heard in the news that we're coming of age and we're in our peak years where we're going to become home buyers, and that is absolutely true. I can tell you I am 31. I fit right in, the heart of where millennials are turning into home buyers, which is ages between 24, 25, and 35, and I'm right in between there, and I'm just going to let you guys know ahead of time that I am actually talking about buying a home soon where I'm located. So like it says right there, as millennials enter their peak home buying years, peak home buying years are 25 to 45, millennials 35. So now is the time. We're going to be a huge part of the home buying process. We're going to be most of your home buyers, for a while. And, it's starting to pick up. According to Ellie Mae, 84% of new home purchase mortgage in January went to millennials. So we're out there, we're looking. Now is the time to learn how to target us, learn new ways. Some of them will be a little taxing, uncomfortable, but, we're going to be the wave of all home buyers, so you're going to have to take down some of these notes and, use some of these tactics to reach people like us, like me. Home buying sentiment remains high, 94% of potential buyers, including many millennials. This is very true. We are all feeling very good at the moment about buying a home. Rates are lower. Houses, depending on market, are lower than they have been. I know they're raising now, but they're still, because the careers for us are picking up, the employment industry is picking up for us. Now we're at that point where we have the savings and we're ready to move on to that next step. So yes, home buying sentiment is high for us. Another stat is most of us are, or I would say 3/4 of us are first-time home buyers. So I would say, more often than not, we're coming into this fresh. We always do our own research where, to find out about loan programs. But a lot of this, and we'll talk about it a little bit later, is education. Teaching us about the mortgage process, making it easier for us to understand, kind of walking with us through it, teaching us, exactly what we need to know. And, building that relationship right off the start. That's how you're going to get more millennials in there. So there it is, the stat again. The millennial home buyer, 74.5% are first-time buyers. So we are first-timers. We're unsure of the process. I mean, luckily for me, I work for a mortgage company, so I do know a little bit about the ins and outs. But, a lot of my friends, they're a little clueless. Just whatever research they've started to do, that's pretty much all they know about the mortgage process, and that doesn't really entail too much. So being that source of education, that source of teaching people about loan programs that would be the best fit for them, this separates you from other brokers. Millennials, whom we define as those ages 18 to 34, now number over 76 million, more than any other generation that's out there right now. We're a huge group, and like I said, we're all coming of age where we're going to start buying houses. So now is the time to understand our group and how you can reach them better. So I threw these stats in there just so you guys could take a look. What do they want in a home? What do we want in a home? And most of the time it is single-family homes. Some of us think of, multi-family condos or townhouses, depending on what area we live in or what our income is. Obviously we're adaptable, but I fall into this category. I'm looking for a single-family detached home. Neighborhood is a big deal. No longer can you just sell the house based on the house. We are a group that is, I don't want to say obsessed, but almost obsessed with local business and the neighborhood. If it's a nice community feel, we're looking more for that kind of atmosphere, not just the house. Of course, the house has to fit into our needs, but it's also about the neighborhood, and we'll talk about that a little bit later too. Where do we want to live? A lot of people say, millennials want to live in the city or by the city. That's not always true, as you can tell by that graphic at the bottom. 49% in the suburbs. It's true. Cities are congested, and even though some of us do like that type of atmosphere, obviously 21%, because everything's ready and available, and it's in proximity to most of our jobs. That's why people move closer to cities. But as you can see, 49% want to live in the suburbs. Okay, like I was saying, I'm going to start, for these 7 ways, I'm going to start with number 7, and we're going to work to the number 1 way I think you can reach millennials. So make sure you stay put and you make it to number 1, because it's going to increase in importance. So the first one, number 7, selling the neighborhood. We do tend to be much less interested in finding the perfect home. Of course, we want the home to fit our needs, but we're much more interested in finding the right community. Of course, it has to be close to our job. The quality of the neighborhood, meaning, crime levels and things of that nature, our passions. A lot of us are interested, like I said before, in local business, family shops, mom and pop shops. The huge thing now, craft beers and craft wine and these local breweries, local restaurants. A lot of millennials now, it's down with the chains. The moment you say to us that, this house is located close to Applebee's or it's close to Fridays, you're not doing it any justice, because personally, if you were to say that to me, that would turn me off from that house, because I'm not a fan of chains. I'd rather support local business. I'd rather go to local restaurants because they do it better. I like that community feel. When you go to a chain, you don't feel like you're part of the community, but when you go to a local restaurant, you feel like you're part of that family. You're part of that family who owns the restaurant. So that's the type of thing we are looking for. So a little advice: be the expert of all things local. So if you have a house that's located in a specific area, educate us on all things local. So popular events that are going on, nearby restaurants and businesses, hidden gems. Every millennial loves the hidden gems, whether it's a hidden hike trail or a hidden brewery, a local one that nobody knows about. A lot of us are hikers and bikers. Share the best bike trails. The coolest music venues, local bands. All these things go with selling the home, just because we are so interested in the neighborhood more so than finding the home itself. So it's a package deal. So if you're selling a home, make sure you're selling the neighborhood too if you want to reach a millennial home buyer. Share this info. Like I said, be the expert of all things local. Share the info on social media, blogs, anywhere on your website. Make sure it's out there, because this is a huge part of why we buy homes and how we buy them. Like I said, related all to the property that you're trying to attract millennials to. Number 6, the instant gratification effect. I know you guys have probably heard this before, but yes, we want everything instantaneous. Everything's online. There's live chats, email automations, phone call follow-ups. Big companies like Amazon, Uber, we pretty much have everything at our fingertips, and we expect results quickly. We expect responses quickly. And I know some of you are thinking right now, oh, God, that seems unfair. That seems like a lot of work. But, the one thing you could do is recognize it as an opportunity to differentiate yourself from your competitors. Because a lot of brokers, real estate agents out there, they'll just say, oh, millennials can wait, like my other customers wait. And, you can do that, and you'll probably still get a little bit of millennial business. But if you do want to separate yourself, differentiate yourself from competitors, respond as fast as you can to millennials, because that's what we're expecting. And when you respond quickly, you're building a great rapport, a great relationship with millennial home buyers, and they're going to take that into account when they go shopping for a home. Education is key. This is number 5. Like I was saying before, being an expert on the local area, about sharing about local bars, local restaurants. It's all about education. If you get on LinkedIn or Facebook, or you send that an email where you're being extremely salesy and you're really trying to drive home the sale of the home, that turns us off. We don't want to hear that. Education, like I said, is key, because we're in the market for the first time. And, we do our research, but there's only so much you can really understand from a Google search about the mortgage process, about the loan programs that are out there. So sharing your knowledge on multiple platforms, through social media where we live, or through an email, which is pretty much the only thing we read communication-wise, it's huge. It makes a huge difference. Buying a home is complicated. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. And, most first-time buyers, it doesn't matter what generation, they're not ready for it. So, being that resource, like I put right there, position yourself as a resource first and a loan officer broker second. Share tips, blogs, posts, videos, ebooks, educating us about the mortgage process. There's so many ways you can share information now that it makes it easier to be that resource. So all of you have websites. You can create a page for, just a blog tip, about what loan programs fit first-time home buyers, or what loan programs are best for renovation. And renovations is actually a really huge thing with millennials. We do like buying houses, fixer-uppers, and using programs to, renovate those fixer-upper homes. Be readily available to answer questions on your website and on social media. If you do not have a live chat on your website right now, please do some research and put one on your website, because this not only solves the education key, because we're going to have plenty of questions, but it also solves the responsiveness and being that resource. So have a live chat on your website. And also on Facebook, use Messenger. It's a great way to communicate. It's almost like a live chat for Facebook. Use Messenger to communicate with your millennial homebuyers. Number 4, this one has been beaten to death, but it needs to be said again and again. It is time to embrace the mobile revolution. And I call it a revolution because everything is done on phones for millennials, for us. We rely on smartphones for just about anything. Finding answers to our questions, we go to our phones first. We do not turn on our computer, our desktop computer, and look for something. It's straight on our phone. We use it for entertainment, videos, music, the internet, everything. Anything we download apps, games. Everything is on the phone. That's how we communicate with others, through text. This is a little bit of advice that you guys can take on. We prefer text over a lot of other things, over phone calls, sometimes even over emails. So get used to texting, millennial home buyers. That's a little tidbit right there for you guys. Make sure everything on your website and blogs are optimized for mobile. I would say mostly all websites are optimized for mobile, but I do occasionally come across one that is not, and it looks sloppy. And like I said, we use our phones for everything. So if we see a website that's unorganized on our mobile phones, it is a turnoff for us. I know this gets a little more complicated, but you could try creating your own app to show loan programs and listings. Line up loan programs with your listings, create an app where, you have your picture and your contact information and your listings right there, so we can click through, we can see video tours of the property. Then you can match it up with loan programs that would be beneficial for first-time home buyers for that particular property. If it's in a USDA location, you could use USDA, no down payment. Things of that nature in an app. Like I said, we're on our phones all the time, so an app would be hugely beneficial to you guys. Make the application form simple. The initial one, we like everything done fast and answered. We like to be answered quickly, and we do things from our phones. So make the application form simple and make sure it's optimized for phones too, for our cell phones. Number 3, how many stars are you? This is all about the review. Millennials are significantly motivated and persuaded by online reviews. 88% of people trust online reviews written by other consumers as much as they trust recommendations from personal contacts. And this is absolutely true. Before I buy anything, before I even think about buying anything, I am online and I'm looking at Google reviews, Facebook reviews. When it comes to a house, I'm looking at reviews about lenders. I'm looking at reviews about real estate agents on Google, on Facebook, on Zillow, on Realtor.com, the bigger outlets out there. If there's any way you can, talk to your best clients and get them to write a review for you on Google and Facebook, it's a huge help, because that is where we're going first. And I promise you that is exactly how our buying process starts. We're going straight to the reviews, and we want to see who we're dealing with, who we can trust, to work with. Because the mortgage process, buying a home, it's all extremely complicated, so we want somebody we can trust to walk us through that entire process. On social media, 58% of consumers share their positive experiences with a company and ask family, colleagues, and friends for their opinions about brands. So if you don't have a company social media page, you're missing out, because we are going to do our research. After we look for reviews, we're going on social media, we're searching their websites. and we're seeing what other people are saying about your company. So if you have your social media channel and people are talking about, oh, just had a great experience with, blah and blah lender, they did a wonderful job. They're sharing that with their own community, and you're breaking through their social media platform. And I was saying before, consider asking your current and best clients to send you testimonials or help you build a case study. Case studies are another big thing that you can host on your website. Show a process where you didn't think this buyer was going to get the home, and then you guys were able to restructure things and find unique ways to get the loan approved and to get it, get the home for the borrower. Share those kinds of things because we'll be looking for that. We're a generation where everything lives online, and that's where we start everything. We're going to research you to death. All about your company on your website, reviews, social media. We're looking at you. Share those case studies with your followers on Facebook, Twitter, and even include them in your email signature on Google, everywhere. Share your reviews, share your case studies. Make sure they're out there, they're obvious, and anyone can see them. Number 2, video killed the everything star. So that's a little play on words. Video killed the radio star. Video killed everything. Video is king. It's content king. 80% of millennials consider video content when researching a purchase decision. I cannot emphasize on how much or how important videos are to your marketing. Videos are everything. 7 out of 10 millennials are likely to watch a company video when shopping online. 76% of millennials follow brands on YouTube. 60% of millennials prefer to watch a company video over reading a company newsletter. These are not made-up numbers. This is research done about our generation. We love to consume videos. So use videos to share convenient virtual tours of specific properties and share them. Share them on your social media pages. If you're working with a realtor, go to the property and start taking videos as you're walking through. You can make it simple. To just take a video while you're walking through the property and share that on your social media. And you're going to get more attention that way than just listing out benefits of the property. Share video, customer spotlight stories. We were just talking about testimonials. If you have a really good emotional story where a buyer went through the process and they didn't think it was going to work, and then at the end it did, and they got their property, share that story. Interview the borrowers. If it's significant enough and emotional, people are going to respond to that, and it's going to be a big, big deal. Any way you can use videos, testimonials, and the virtual tours, even in educational tips. All you got to do is pop yourself in front of your phone, take a quick video, and navigate us through the home buying process. Take one step at a time. Obviously, don't create a video that's 45 minutes long. We're not going to watch it. Create little snippets of information that are a minute, minute and a half long. Little tips on, how we can better the process, what loan programs are even out there for us that we can use as first-time home buyers. That's all it takes. But this is huge. Use video for whatever you can. And number 1, social media. And I keep talking about it throughout this entire presentation, but it deserves its own category. It deserves to be number 1. Social is king. Millennials use social media sites as primary tools for communicating with other people, for engaging with businesses, and for performing research that ultimately helps us make our purchasing decisions. We are communicating with each other. We are communicating with businesses through Facebook. We are consuming, videos, content through social media that businesses are putting out. This is where we get a lot of our information, our news. Now there's great features on Facebook where you can do live videos, and that's a huge wave right now. I watch them personally. They're a great thing to use. Make sure you're connected on all the necessary platforms. I shouldn't even have to say it, but you should have a Facebook profile. You should have a Twitter profile. Instagram is another huge one because it's picture-based and, video-based. So taking videos of properties and images and things of that nature, you're going to need an Instagram account. And LinkedIn is extremely beneficial as well. A lot of us are in the professional world. We're making plenty of money. We're making huge financial decisions, and that's where all the professionals are going to be. So make sure you have a company LinkedIn page, a personal LinkedIn page. It's another resource where you can reach us, for any kind of information, educating us on the home buying process. 82% of online adults age 18 to 29 use Facebook. And there's 1.94 billion monthly active users on Facebook worldwide. So yes, make sure you are a part of Facebook. Make sure you are using it to your benefit. And as I was saying earlier, millennials age 18 to 34, age 18 to 35, depending on who you talk to, it gets a wider or narrower. But regardless, 25 to 34, that is a prime age to be looking at houses, to be thinking about purchasing a home. And 29.7% of people that age, 25 to 34, are on Facebook. They're users, daily users. It's the most common age demographic. So we are there. We are looking on there. 30% of online adults under 50 use Twitter. 55% of online adults age 18 to 29 use Instagram. Like I was saying, Instagram's another big deal. And 37% of online adults, I just saw somebody put that question in there. I think that was a mistype by me. So I'm sorry about that. But obviously, what I'm trying to get at here is that social media is king, and you need to be on there. Educating us, sharing resources, really taking advantage of these platforms to reach millennial home buyers. And I wanted to do this kind of as a separate one, and I want to get your guys' feedback on this. Digital advertising is a big deal, especially in real estate. And this is why I included this slide here. Social is king, but also digital advertising is king. So I was wondering if you guys would like me to do a digital advertising webinar on how you can reach millennials. I'm not going to include it in this one because we would be here for another 45 minutes to an hour. So let me know your thoughts if you want me to do a whole webinar on digital advertising. So advertising opportunities, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, these go hand in hand. Facebook owns Instagram, so you could actually tackle both of them at the same time. Try and advertise on Zillow and Realtor.com. These are huge outlets. I know when I'm looking for listings and homes that are for sale in the area I live in Tampa. So if I'm looking for places around Tampa, I'm going to those two major outlets, Zillow and Realtor.com. Those are the two I probably use the most. So get your reviews on those outlets. If you can and you can afford it, get some advertising on there, little spots, that people can see you. These are a big deal. So it's all about getting in front of the millennial eye, and that's the way to do it. And another way is Google Ads. Every time you search Google, the top search results are actually advertisements. Could consist of 2, 3, 4 advertisements. This is another effective way to get in front of millennials. Like I said, we use Google search and finding reviews. We use the internet for everything. We're using our phones. We're searching on Google all the time. So if you do have an ad on Google, it's going to be at the top and we're going to see it. So that is what I have to say about digital advertising. It is a huge deal, and I'm seeing responses right now, yes, please, yes, yes, absolutely, would be great, absolutely, yes. So I will be hosting one just strictly on digital advertising. I happen to be an expert in Facebook advertising, so it will mostly consist of that. But to be honest with you, with 1.94 billion active daily users on Facebook, you're pretty good just advertising on Facebook, especially the start. But yeah, I'll do a whole webinar where we can walk step by step. You guys can ask questions along the way, and I'll show you exactly how to set up a Facebook advertisement, how to target millennial home buyers, kind of what detailed descriptions you can put in the areas. And I'll teach you little things that I know personally on how to reach us better. Okay, so that concludes that main part of the webinar. And like I said, now is going to be the live Q&A. So you guys know ahead of time, you will be getting a recording of this webinar to review. I'll probably say it's going to go out tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning. Just look out in your email, and you'll get a recording of this webinar to watch again. And if you don't have any questions right now, or if you can't think of anything right now and you think about it later, you can always reach out to me directly. There's my contact information right there. My name is Joe Pohl. You can call me at 813-935-1828, and my email address is joseph@racmtg.com. You can email me your questions if you didn't get to ask one or you just can't think of one right now. So now I would like to open up the floor to you. I'm going to scroll up a bit just because I had a few questions during. How could we compete with a company that provides automated results like this? I think you were talking about when I mentioned Amazon and Uber and things like that. Obviously, not everybody's going to be able to compete with companies like that. But my point was to be as responsive as you can to our generation. We expect instant gratification. We expect instant responses. So there's little things you can do. Like I said, the live chat on the website would be a very smart idea, because this way, when we ask a question, if we're on your website, you can answer right away. If you have an assistant or a secretary or a marketing person, have them manage the live chat so the questions get answered quickly. Answer your emails, I would say within a day is usually safe to bet. That's a safe bet, because I know everybody's busy and you're going to be working during the day, but as long as you get to us within 24 hours, I think that's a good rule of thumb. Are there handouts we can get? I can give you guys a copy of the slides if you like. And like I said, you're going to get a recording of the webinar, so you guys can look over the slides. You guys can check out the webinar. And if you have any follow-up questions, of course, you can let me know. Contact me directly. Okay, so that's all the questions I see for right now. I'll give you guys maybe 30 seconds to a minute. If you could think of any more questions you have for me. I'm a millennial. Now's the time to ask a millennial, for some advice on how to reach us. Okay, so I don't see any questions as of right now, and I understand you guys are busy. So like I said, you can contact me directly after this webinar, after you receive the replay of the webinar or the email slides, the PowerPoint slides. You can contact me directly from there and ask me any questions you guys would like. Well, I want to thank you again for participating in this webinar. I hope you guys were able to take something away from this. I wanted to speak to you from a millennial perspective because I am a millennial. I want to help you guys understand our generation, because I know it gets lost on other generations out there. But I hope this helps a little bit. And like I said, because of the response I got, that you guys want me to host a webinar about digital advertising, I will. So next time, look out for it within the next month. I'll host one specifically about digital advertising And this way I can walk you through the process of setting up a Facebook ad that will definitely reach millennial home buyers. Oh, we got another question that just came in. I heard recently that millennials believe that a down payment for 20% is required to purchase. Have you seen or heard this? Yes, I have seen and heard it, and yes, it is true. Like I said, a huge part of this process of reaching millennial home buyers is education and being a resource. A lot of my friends, until I told them when I started working in the mortgage industry, did think that 20% is required to purchase. A lot of us are not aware of, the USDA zero down payment, the VA zero down payment, the FHA 3.5% down. A lot of people don't know. I'm not going to say everyone doesn't know, but there are a lot of people out there that still think that 20% down is due. So yeah, sharing that tidbit of information on any of your social media platforms, or coming up with a top 10 ways to lower your down payment, or top 10 ways where you can get a house with an extremely low down payment, and share it on a blog or share it on your social media pages. Education is key. Be a resource for us, because that's what we're looking for in a business-to-consumer relationship. Okay, great. Like I said, thank you again for attending this webinar. You will receive a copy of the slides and a recording of the webinar, and if you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.